Take another look.
This is when Hornaday about loses it. He's on the inside of James Busher. Keselowski's going to have to pit, but he's on the inside of James Busher. And look, he gets as sideways as you want to get at Bristol. The thing's out of control. He was able to save it, but then Brad.
Watch Brad now. He's going to basically spin out here. You see him get a little bit loose. He thought the thing would catch it, finally didn't. But watch it. Watch the rear tires. He lets off the brake and the truck turns and straightens right out.
But you could see how long that right front tire slid, Phil, and I think it burnt right through the rubber. He's on pit road right now. He's got a flat tire. Will he keep rolling on through? I think he does.
The caution has come out. This is for debris in turn number 2, and Brad Keselowski on pit road.
He has a right front flat tire, but he came off pit road, Rick. He had a stop. He would have lost 2 or 3 laps. This way, he's only going to be 1 down, Phil, I believe, and put himself in a position to wind up with the Aaron's lucky dog at some point.
Yeah, that's a huge break for Brad Keselowski.
Well, I liked him picking the outside. We saw what happened to Brad Keselowski.
Problems in turn number 1. Austin Dillon's involved.
Donnie Lee, I think the 07 goes around.
Get turned around here as quick as you can.
Chris Jones just maybe skid you see the right front damage to Austin Dillon's truck.
That's a lot of damage on that truck.
You're right.
There's 2 other trucks that were involved down there.
This started way back here at almost at the start-finish line. You see the 07 of Donnie Lee forces the 21 of Jake Crum into the outside wall. Then it turns Donnie sideways. Austin, with nowhere to go, makes contact. Look at Todd Bodine, our point leader, just get by the 3 of Austin Dillon.
Oh, and then Austin gets hit again.
That's Chris Jones, the 87, just knocks that front fascia off.
Things happen fast around this racetrack.
Kyle Busch, you heard him grab 3rd gear even before he got to turn number 1.
Whatever's wrong with it, he was able to figure out how to deal with it.
And you know he was ready for it too. Make sure you got that thing down in 4th gear.
Smoking coming out of the 23 of Jason White. Looks like an engine may have expired.
He's had 2 engine failures in the last 2 races, 2 in a row. He's had trouble under the hood of that number 23 truck. 10th in the points. These blows have really dashed his chances of a solid season.
And fluid on the racetrack is going to bring out our 3rd caution of the night.
You know, a year ago here, Phil, Jason led the most laps at Bristol. Big night for he and his team, and he was looking to have the same type of result tonight. Really a handful. Watch James Busher. He's going to get on the inside of Skinner, but can he hold on down there?
How about Hornaday squeezing Skinner up?
Oh, problems for the 10 of Jennifer Jo Cobb. It looks as though the 18 of Kyle Busch maybe got into the 10. So Jennifer Jo Cobb spins on the front stretch, and that brings out our 4th caution.
See what happens here. Kyle Busch dives in on her, gives her a little bit of a shove.
You know, he's wanting to go. He sees Todd Bodine. He sees Johnny Sutter going. Just gets in the back of her coming off turn 4 and around she goes. She does a nice job. I think she absolutely missed the inside wall. Going to get another view here.
How many times in the history of Bristol, Phil, have you been backwards and spinning around and don't collect that inside wall? Usually you're going to drive straight into it. She did a great job of hanging on, keeping that truck out of the wall.
It's the 2nd time we've seen that tonight. Remember Brad Keselowski the same way. Brad didn't actually fully 46 first ever start
in his debut. I think Bill Elliott's up on top spot for John King, so I know he's getting a lot of good advice. Oh, contact.
Around they go
into the 6.
Turn number 1. The 6 driven by Clay Greenfield.
Austin Dillon makes a little bit of contact with the left front of that truck now.
You know, he's having a lot of problems with the front of that truck today.
Take another look.
There's Dennis Setzer on the inside. He slides up the racetrack a little bit, gets a little bit loose, has to chase it, gets in the left rear quarter panel of the 6 of Clay Greenfield.
Clay had gotten an Aaron's lucky dog earlier. And look at Austin Dillon. He just locked the brakes down and it slid right into Greenfield. See Setzer, he's trying to work the bottom. We've seen already tonight how hard that is. And Dennis, if he can't do it, you know it's hard because he's one of the best short track racers in the world.
There's Johnny Sauter right there. We're going to follow right along with Kyle Busch.
Kyle to the outside of that mess.
Wow. I bet Kyle thought, well, it's a pretty good time to dive to the outside. Right there, they all reckon on the bottom of me. Watch this move he makes around the top. See him duck to the right.
He goes way on the outside of Johnny Sauter. Johnny had to slow down for Clay Greenfield, who spun right in front of him, and Kyle just drove by on the outside.
It looked like there was a little bit of contact.
And how about back on the lead lap, Brad Keselowski?
Oh, we got a spin. Hornaday loses control of his truck.
Hornaday into the inside wall on the backstretch.
Minimal contact, though.
Caution is out for Hornaday.
We got the nose, so I don't know how bad.
And there he is on the inside of the, oh, he makes contact with Mario Goslin. That's what happened. That's why he went around.
Ron just went up the racetrack a little bit high. Mario Goslin was there.
That's the third truck we've seen spin, just trying to run underneath of another truck. You can see his truck gets a little bit high off. There's the contact, and around he goes.
And that little touch was all it took to turn that nose of that truck to the left and spin him out.
The young man, number 46, John King, in the 4th position. Elliott Sadler running 5th. Oh, around goes the 85 of Brett Raymer.
Everybody's able to get by here. No caution yet. Now caution flag is out.
Caution's out. Wave them off. Wave them off.
He's going to go all the way to the back anyway. If he waits a little while, it'll be basically the same, but he'll have fresher tires for later in the race. What do you think? He's already good. You could see there how Brett Raymer goes around. But what do you think about Skinner? Maybe he waits later and has fresher tires at the end.
I think now I'd probably wait till 100, 110, something like that.
255 degrees was water temperature on number 88 when they ran. Oh, trouble. The 10 just got in trouble with the 31. Big damage for James Busher as they roll off the corner.
Yeah, and a lot of damage for Jennifer Jo Cobb as well.
See, there's Jennifer Jo Cobb. Now watch when she comes down the racetrack. James committed to the bottom. He was actually on the apron. And when she came down the racetrack, he had nowhere to go.
You know, you're going so fast here. He's entering that corner at over 100 miles an hour. He can't just all of a sudden change directions. He saw her spinning, thought she was going to stay on the track, committed to the bottom, and he was done. That's where he had to go, and they made contact.
Driving is exactly what Kyle Busch is doing here in Thunder Valley. He has driven past, well, virtually everyone on the racetrack.
Got a truck sideways down in turn.
Sideways goes the 48.
46 of John
King. The 46 goes sideways. The caution comes out.
It's out of the back of is that Kyle Busch's?
Yeah,
he just had gone a lap down. Just got a little bit loose getting in the corner. Did a nice job not making any contact with anything.
What a battle these two are having. It looks like Elliott Sadler again is way faster than Timothy, but Timothy's holding the line. They were 3 wide side by side while lapping traffic as well, but Elliott, although got all the way beside Peters, he could not finish the pass.
This is what they were doing while we were away for a few laps.
Looked like Elliott tried to move him up the hill a little bit, tried to maybe get Timothy out of the throttle. Didn't work. Timothy fought right back. They go by the lap truck of Brett Raymer 3 wide.
Action's picking up. 37 laps to go.
And all this is happening with Kyle Busch just about a half a straightaway ahead of these two. Oh, he's going to turn it
into the wall. They're both 17 of Timothy Peters and the 2 of Elliott Sadler.
Yeah, I hear.
Elliott Sadler looked to straighten it back out, but there is damage to the 17, and he is not happy with the 2 of Elliott Sadler.
Well, it looked like Elliott had just a piece of his nose on the outside of Timothy, and Timothy crowded up, and they ran into the wall. Check this out.
Elliott has a little bit of a run, a little bit of momentum, and he just had that momentum. When Timothy pulled up in front of him, he just ran in the back of him. I don't think it was a situation where Elliott said, I'm going to run up here and run in the back of him. He just came on him a little bit quick here. I think he thought he might be able to have that lane open on the outside, but then when Timothy came up and closed it up, then they made the contact.
And I think you're exactly right, Phil. And the thing that you said just before this happened, as you can see, they're off 2. There's a bit of a hole, then there isn't. Boom. They made contact.
Yeah, and when they did, they got hooked together. You could hear Elliott obviously out of the throttle.
But Elliott also had the opportunity to get out of the gas a bit and not run into the back of the 17.
Well, certainly, but Phil said something that was key just before that happened. 37 to go. These laps are clicking off in a hurry, and Elliott thought, I got a hole here. I need to try to get in it. Adam, what's happening?
Well, I just heard Jeff Hensley say, get out the baseball bat. I'm glad he's talking about fixing the truck and not going after the 2 team.
Or something.
The right front brace on the splitter is broken away, and the focus is getting the fender off that right front tire. A lot of damage. They've changed right side tires. Their main goal now going to be staying on the lead lap, and they're going to send him away. He'll probably come back down pit road.
Yeah, that piece of metal you saw on the racetrack, that flew off right there of Elliott Sadler's truck.
It's a piece of that brake rotor from the right front.
He has brakes, Elliott's reported to his crew. They're just the rear brakes, which safety-wise, that's fine. If there's an accident, he can get stopped because he does have brakes. But it's going to be really hard to be competitive without any front brakes. You got to be really careful. 2nd through 5th, they can't work it out side by side. Oh, inside. What a great
81
run.
of David Starr. There's more contact. Ken Schrader gets into him. Dennis Setzer goes around. The 4 of Ricky Carmichael involved.
And remember the fuel situation. Now we're going to go overtime when we know Kyle Busch has to be low on fuel. See, David Starr was on the inside of Justin Lofton, it looked like.
Yep.
They make contact. Kenny Schrader comes along after David bounced off the inside wall, was headed back to the outside wall.
That was
Miguel
Paludo got into the 92 of Dennis Setzer.
And then Ricky Carmichael came along and got a part of that wreck as well.
So a lot of damage.
See, here comes Kenny.
Out.
I mean, that's just as fast as you're going right there, Phil.
Yeah.
He dove into turn. Wow, look at the 17 truck just slipped through the middle of that. He dove down into turn 1 as fast as he could be going, and he made hard contact with David Starr.
Yeah, upwards of 130 or 40 miles an hour as they entered that corner. Here's real time. Here's David. He hits the inside wall. Now he heads to the outside. Kenny comes by, as you mentioned. He's in the corner absolutely as hard as he can get in the corner. He'd already committed.
He's got it through 1 and 2. And he's checking out down the backstretch. Does he have enough?
How about Tomo and I racing up in the top 5 right now?
Here comes Hornaday to the inside of Mike Skinner. Got a spin. White flag out. As they spin behind him.
Caution flag.
Kyle Busch took the white flag. We'll see if NASCAR says it's official. So this is the problem behind Kyle.
Kyle's coming off turn 4 to take the caution flag. There's a spin.
The 9 of Max Pappas, the 3 of Austin. They took the white, and he was across the stripe just as this happened.
You can see Matt Crafton pushes into Austin Dillon, shoves him up the track. Austin gets into Max Pappas, and that causes the crash, and that's why Austin Dillon wasn't too happy with Matt Crafton.
Watch the flag person. That's Sarah up in the flag stand.
They're well past the start-finish line.
Well past that before the lights come on.
Saw the lights come on.
Yeah, the lights actually are triggered from the tower.
Yep.
So that's really what's official. And they were well past the start-finish line when the lights came on.
You can see here the crash happens right now, but man, they're traveling 100 miles an hour, and that was in slow motion. You can see how far they are past the start-finish line.
The caution lap just came out. They were really entering turn number 1 when the caution lights came on.
And these guys aren't happy.
Well,
Austin Dillon has had a tough night already, and now to add insult to injury, the 88 gets into him, and it continues.
They were a couple of laps down, Austin Dillon was, and Matt Crafton had new tires, and he wanted to go. After the checkered flag fell, Austin Dillon came up and roughed up Matt Crafton a little bit.
Boy, a lot of damage to that 3 truck tonight. And the teams just aren't happy. And a lot of teams never walk away from a short track happy.
Well, and this is Bristol, remember.
And this is Bristol. 19th career win, though, for Kyle Busch.
Record amount of cautions here tonight for this race.
Yes.